Monitoring what are the most beautiful cities in the world is not easy. But the most beautiful tourist cities can be known by counting the numbers of the most beautiful tourist cities in the world that tourist cities around the world have attracted over the course of a year, according to what was reported by the World Tourism Organization. Thus, the opportunity to identify the most beautiful tourist cities, or the most beautiful cities in the world in general, becomes something for everyone. In this video, you will learn about the 20 most beautiful cities in the world and the most attractive ones for tourism, which are located within a group of the most beautiful countries in the world, as well as the best cities and tourist areas that attracted travelers immediately after the corona pandemic, and which are still in effect until 2023. 20. Bali in Indonesia. The island of Bali is one of the most beautiful tourist places in Indonesia, because of its rich natural beauty, ancient history, and heritage that makes it one of the best cities in the world, and the most attractive to the eyes of tourists, camera lenses, and artists' brushes alike. Bali has some of the most beautiful and charming beaches in the world, such as Seminyak, Nusa Dua, Kuta, and other natural attractions such as the rice terraces in Ubud, the quiet and picturesque island of Lombok on the northeastern coast, rice fields, and towering mountains covered with very green and dense forests on the western coast, in addition to archaeological and historical monuments such as palaces, museums, and art galleries that contributed to making Bali one of the most beautiful islands in the world. Tourism in Bali attracted 8.3 million travelers the previous year. 19. Osaka in Japan. Osaka is the second largest and richest city in Japan, and one of the most beautiful tourist cities in Japan and in the world as a whole due to its ancient history that extends before the 16th century as the first capital of Japan, which left its mark on its famous concrete castle. Osaka is also famous for its entertainment places that attract the attention of families, such as the Ferris wheel open-air amusement parks located on the rooftops of buildings, the second largest film studios in the world, and the water park where you can enjoy watching huge, colorful, and rare fish through giant ponds. In addition to accommodation options that suit various budgets, luxurious restaurants, bars, and nightclubs, the ideal location in the heart of the country and its most famous tourist cities through a huge network of transportation. Tourism in Osaka attracted 8.42 million travelers the previous year. 18. Pattaya in Thailand. Pattaya is considered one of the best tourist cities in the world due to its involvement with authentic Asian customs and traditions, and other cultures that have inhabited it over time as an attractive city for immigrants, in addition to an ancient heritage that deserves to be studied and looked closely at its deep roots, as the city, which is classified as one of the most beautiful cities in Thailand, is home to the most famous temples, religious sites, homes of the wealthy, the most beautiful gardens, and picturesque beaches, ideal for spending a quiet, secluded, and enjoyable vacation at the same time. Although Pattaya is included in the list of the most beautiful and most attractive tourist cities in the world as a whole, it is considered the third most attractive to tourists in Thailand, in particular after Phuket and Bangkok, which are therefore included in the same list of the best cities in the world in terms of tourist attractions. Tourism in Pattaya attracted 8.67 million travelers the previous year. 17. Barcelona in Spain. Barcelona is considered one of the best tourist cities in the world, thanks to its distinguished geographical location between the northeastern coast of the Mediterranean Sea in Spain and the southern French Pyrenees. In addition to its charming beaches extending 4 kilometers or more, and its pleasant climate throughout the year, which makes it a wonderful summer vacation for tourists from all over the world. Barcelona, Spain, includes an ancient and famous football club that attracts fans from everywhere to follow its live matches. This is in addition to a number of art galleries and museums with an ancient cultural heritage that has distinguished the city over the decades, as it is one of the most important tourist cities in Spain and witnessed the birth and development of the most famous plastic artists such as Picasso and Miro. Tourism in Barcelona attracted 8.69 million travelers the previous year. 16. Palma de Mallorca in Spain. It is one of the most beautiful cities in the world, according to the British newspaper The Sunday Times, as it offers its visitors a diverse tourist meal that combines picturesque beaches, towering hills, and historical monuments, with giant shopping and entertainment streets, and dozens of cultural and artistic events. The island of Mallorca, or Palma de Mallorca, is located on the coast of the Mediterranean Sea and is one of the most beautiful Spanish Balearic Islands. It is distinguished by its waterfront, which witnesses the city's heritage yacht industry, with a number of the finest restaurants, bars, nightclubs, and boutique hotels overlooking the sea, as well as historical monuments. In the Old Town, the city holds a number of festivals that entertain visitors with live music that delights the ears. Tourism in Palma de Mallorca attracted 8.78 million travelers the previous year. 15. Milan in Italy. Milan, or Milan, is the second most populous city in Italy and one of the best tourist cities in Italy as a whole, and one of its best tourist destinations. It can even be considered the most beautiful city in the world for those who like to keep up with the latest international fashion trends, where you can find the largest fashion boutiques and their most famous brands in Brera, via Monte Napoleon Gallery, Vittorio Emanuele II, and others. In addition, Milan hosts a group of the most beautiful tourist attractions in Italy and the world, thanks to the exquisite art and architecture that distinguishes its buildings, as is the case in the Duomo Cathedral, La Scala, and the Opera House, where you can also attend a fine artistic show, then end your day in one of the Navigli Heart Bars. Vibrant Milan at night. Tourism in Milan attracted 8.81 million travelers the previous year. 14. Hong Kong in China. Hong Kong is classified as one of the most beautiful cities in China, and also one of the most beautiful and most crowded and populated tourist cities in the world, as the independent autonomous region, despite its geographical dependence on China, is blessed with a port that is the most important in Asia due to its role in the international trade movement on the continent, in addition to being one of the most important and famous landmarks of the city. Tourist. This is in addition to the city's fame in the fields of fashion and film industry, as it includes stores and boutiques belonging to the most famous international brands. Geographically, Hong Kong is treated as an archipelago of islands located between the South China Sea and the Pearl River, surrounded by about 200 islands, making it one of the most beautiful cities in the world thanks to its picturesque nature and moderate coastal climate. Tourism in Hong Kong attracted 9.03 million travelers the previous year. 13. Mecca in Saudi Arabia. Mecca is considered one of the most important cities in Saudi Arabia in particular and the cities of the world as a whole, due to its high religious sanctity among Muslims as the birthplace of the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, in Saudi Arabia, and home to the most important Islamic religious monuments in the world, during which the pillars of Hajj and Umrah are completed, such as the Grand Mosque, the Holy Kaaba, Safa and Marwa, Zamzam well. Although entering Mecca is prohibited for non-Muslims and most of its tourism indicators lead to Hajj and Umrah tourism, it also includes some entertainment attractions that attract about 3 million tourists annually who wander among its luxurious, upscale hotels and luxurious restaurants that offer a variety of local cuisine dishes. Asian and global, in accordance with the principles of Islamic Sharia. Tourism in Mecca attracted 9.18 million travelers the previous year. 12. Phuket in Thailand. Phuket or Phuket is the largest island in Thailand and one of the most beautiful beach cities in the world that attracts tourists from different countries and financial capabilities, with the accommodation options, restaurants, and entertainment available to everyone. The island has about 30 beaches that are the most beautiful, popular, and visited in the world, such as Padang, Karen, Kuta, and Kamala, because of their warm white sand and crystal waters, with palm trees that wrap around them majestically, making them a romantic and poetic destination ideal for honeymoon holidays. In addition to the main island's smaller tropical islands, you can reach them and enjoy their picturesque charm through speedboat trips through the famous Phang Nga Bay. Tourism in Phuket attracted 9.29 million travelers the previous year. 11. Antalya in Turkey. Antalya is the best coastal city in Turkey and one of the most beautiful tourist cities in the world, due to its stunning beaches and glamorous archaeological landmarks, with ideal entertainment areas for families. If Antalya is one of the many tourist cities that top your list of priorities and plans to go on vacation, do not forget to visit the Old City, which includes a number of the city's ancient archaeological sites, such as the Roman Hadrian's Gate. If your vacation is of a family nature, there is no doubt that the beaches of Antalya and its ancient port with its charming turquoise waters, gentle sunshine, and moderate climate will be your first destination. Your children, of course, will not give up visiting the Aqualand Water Park and playing with dolphins and marine animals in Dolphinland. Tourism in Antalya attracted 9.42 million travelers in the previous year. 10. Seoul, South Korea. Seoul, the capital of South Korea, is a city of contrasts for Asians, while it is classified as one of the best tourist and industrial cities in the world, thanks to its technical progress and its fame in the field of fashion manufacturing and marketing. On the other hand, Seoul has a long history and heritage, leaving its mark on its temples and palaces, and even its traditional wooden houses with elegant and sophisticated architecture, in addition to its lush parks and gardens, its mountain paths, and the banks of its rivers, which are gaining wide popularity among its residents and foreign tourists, as ideal destinations for exercise and hiking and cycling. Perhaps the most distinctive feature of Seoul, one of the most prominent tourist cities in South Korea, is its famous tourist attractions, which are City Hall, Dongman Plaza, Jongmyo Shrine, the ancient Bangshan neighborhood, and the Han and Cheonggi rivers. Tourism in Seoul attracted 9.54 million travelers the previous year. 9. Istanbul in Turkey. Istanbul is considered the largest tourist city in Turkey, the second largest city in Turkey in terms of population density and the fifth in the world, and at the same time it is one of the best tourist cities in the world, because of its ancient history and great cultural and civilizational diversity thanks to the frequent human civilizations that have passed through it, and because it serves as the isthmus that connects two culturally different continents. Istanbul is the connecting point between Asia and Europe via the Bosphorus Strait, which connects the Black Sea to the Sea of Marmara, and constitutes one of its most important and famous tourist attractions, along with its mosques, palaces, Ottoman shrines, ruins of its castles, Byzantine churches, and traditional baths, which is a unique, enjoyable experience that tourists come from all over the world to enjoy. With it, tourism in Istanbul attracted 10.7 million travelers in the previous year. 8. Tokyo in Japan. Tokyo has been the capital of Japan and its political, financial, and cultural center since 1868, and even much earlier than that. It has been chosen as the political capital of Japan since the beginning of the 17th century, but under the name Edo. Over time, Tokyo became the most populous city in Japan and the world, with an area extending over 23 administrative sectors to the north of Honshu Island on the western bank of Tokyo Bay, near the mouth of the Sumida River. On the other hand, Tokyo is considered one of the most beautiful tourist cities in Japan and the best cities in the entire world, as Tokyo attracts millions of tourists thanks to its giant buildings, architecture, and unprecedented technical and cultural development. Despite the frequent natural disasters and wars on it, Tokyo has not been unable to rebuild and develop itself in a greater way than it was before on it in the past. Tourism in Tokyo attracted 11.93 million travelers the previous year. 7. Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. Kuala Lumpur is a tourist city, one of the most prominent tourist cities in Malaysia, located to the west, on the Strait of Malacca, which separates it from the Indonesian island of Sumatra. In addition, Kuala Lumpur is classified as one of the most beautiful tourist cities in the world, thanks to its cultural diversity, which includes the heritage and civilization of three ancient Asian societies, India, China, and the Malays. It is gaining greater importance as the country's capital and its economic and cultural center. Kuala Lumpur is known as a historical and entertainment destination ideal for the family. It is famous for its religious temples such as the Bata Caves Temple, giant skyscrapers such as the Petronas Twin Towers and the main shopping mall, in addition to its traditional popular markets and botanical gardens, and the cultural and religious celebrations and festivals it organizes for different faiths throughout the year. Tourism in Kuala Lumpur attracted 12.58 million travelers in the previous year. 6. New York in the United States of America. The most beautiful city in the world in one of the most beautiful, sophisticated, and culturally developed countries in the world. New York is located the second best city in the United States of America on 3 islands in the northeast of the country between Washington, D.C., and Boston. It has an infinite number of the most famous tourist attractions in the world, most of which are located within short distances that can be easily traveled by car, which makes it the easiest way to pass and have a quick look on the city's main landmarks. New York is famous for its world-famous shopping plazas and upscale restaurants around top tourist attractions such as the Statue of Liberty, the Brooklyn Bridge, the Empire State Building, Central Park, its historic neighborhoods and museums, and the One World Observatory for a magical and unparalleled panoramic view of the city. Tourism in New York attracted 13.13 million travelers the previous year. 5. Singapore in Singapore. Singapore is one of 58 islands, and the capital of the country of the same name, located in South Asia, and includes several ethnic groups from India to China and Malays to Arabs and foreigners. Singapore, the city and state, enjoys a giant economic entity despite its recent origins. On the other hand, and away from these matters, Singapore is described as one of the most beautiful cities in the world, with its entertainment options that attract the tourist spotlight, such as high-end hotels that range to meet the highest to the lowest travel budgets, and restaurants that offer a variety of culinary experiences from diverse cultures and civilizations that embody the demographics of its population. Dazzling and bright shopping places, vibrant nightclubs, and finally festivals and annual holidays that are diverse in their diversity of cultures. Tourism in Singapore attracted 13.91 million travelers in the previous year. 4. Dubai in the Emirates. Dubai is the second largest city in the Emirates, overlooking the Arabian Gulf in area and the largest in population, and one of the most beautiful cities in the world and the most attractive for tourists, because of its elegant Western appearance with an authentic Arab Eastern spirit. For years, Dubai has been seeking to create an engineering and architectural renaissance that is unparalleled in the world, by building everything that is strange and amazing and eye-catching, starting with the Burj Khalifa, the highest skyscraper in the world, then the Burj Al Arab, then the largest entertainment artificial Palm Island in the world. Despite all this noise, Dubai provides a quiet atmosphere for recreation and relaxation through its wonderful deserts and beaches, which are an ideal spot for safari and camping tours, in addition to unique shopping tours provided by its popular heritage markets. Tourism in Dubai attracted 15.79 million travelers in the previous year. 3. Paris in France. Paris, the French capital, is the largest and most beautiful tourist city in France and its political, economic, and cultural center. Paris is located in the north of the country, close to the English Channel, and is divided by the Seine River into two parts, consisting of 20 districts. The city was founded during the 19th century by the French architect Haussmann, to include a group of the most famous, important and ancient historical monuments in the world, which made it the most beautiful tourist cities in the world that tourists come from all over the world, and visits do not stop throughout the year. Perhaps the most important landmarks that distinguish Paris include the Eiffel Tower, Notre Dame Cathedral, Place de la Bastille, the Louvre Museum, and many others. Tourism in Paris attracted 17.44 million travelers the previous year. 2. London in England. London is the capital of Britain, its political, cultural and economic centre, and one of the most important tourist cities in England. It is located in the south of the country on the banks of the Thames River, and is famous as the City of Fog due to the frequent formation of fog there. London is characterized by the diversity of its climate from one region to another throughout the year, and by a huge and advanced transportation network linking its most important cities, in addition to an intense cultural diversity due to the large number of ethnic groups that inhabit it, with a number of the most wonderful and famous landmarks that have made it one of the most beautiful and most popular tourist cities in the world. Perhaps the most famous landmarks of London are the historic Tower of London, which contains the famous Big Ben, the Royal Buckingham Palace and its gardens, the London Eye Ferris Wheel, Kensington Gardens, the London Market, Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, with thousands of high-end restaurants and hotels. Tourism in London attracted 19.83 million travelers the previous year. 1. Bangkok in Thailand. Bangkok is the capital of Thailand and its main port, and one of the most famous cities in Thailand and one of the most beautiful tourist cities in the world as a whole. It is often called the best tourist destination in the world because of the tourist entertainment and amenities it provides, such as popular markets and high-end shopping centers, with nightclubs and bars that. It offers an unparalleled nightlife in the country, and high-level hotels that provide accommodation options to suit various budgets. The capital, Bangkok, also has a number of giant modern skyscrapers, along with historical temples and royal palaces with an archaeological history. For those looking for a trip of relaxation that brings them peace and psychological comfort, there are kayak or river taxi trips through the fresh rivers of Bangkok. All of this contributes greatly to Bangkok being listed as one of the best honeymoon places and contributes to its classification as the most beautiful city in the world. Tourism in Bangkok attracted 20.05 million travelers the previous year.